Welcome back to Animal Crossing New Horizons. I'm dear darling. Shall we see what's going on our lovely island of Fawnhallow today, where we'll be relaxing as per usual. I'm going to be recording a lot of Happy in Paradise today. So the marathon of recordings, not marathon, it's only 3 more episodes. Like I've said, I've already done most of the episode recordings yesterday. And technically, I only have to do 2, I believe, because I could record one normally. Then 1, 2, 3, 4. Then it'll be just 2 more. Technically, I could also leave one out, but no, I'm gonna record 3 because I think it's just gonna be a bit easier. But anyway, hello everyone. Right now in Fawnhallow, it's 3:11 p.m. on Sunday, March 2nd, 2025. Yes. So that's what we're gonna not what we're gonna talk about today. I mean, I'll be doing that in a bit, and luckily that won't take too long. It'll take like an hour or so. Take some breaks in between. But yeah, what should we talk about? I finished the Honkai Star Rail story quest. I wanted to finish it off today because I was like, I'm going on holiday. It's not going to be enough time, and I don't want to run into spoilers anymore. And honestly, it's really engaging. I'm not going to lie. They're cooking in 3.0 and 3.1. I know not everyone liked it, but I really like the story quests in these new versions so far. So I'm having a great time. And I can't wait to see what the future quests and versions will hold. I think part of it's also because it feels like this big anthology of a thing. They said that this was like a quest line. Basically, in the previous sort of versions, we've had quest lines and they get resolved within like 3 patches or so. And some of them like work pretty well. Like I think the first one, Bella Bog, was pretty good. I think the Change Your Alliance was okay to not great. I think Penacony was pretty decent. I think it didn't quite stick the landing, and some of the things kind of were rather anticlimactic, but a lot of it was actually pretty good as well. This one at least is shaping up to be pretty good, like through and through. And there are some frustrations people had with the first ones, and I do agree with them. I didn't have much of a problem with people's thing where it was black screen and white text, although I did much prefer when there of course was a visual to go along with it. I did have a problem with the amount of puzzles which were just back to back in the quest, which also did not feel like we were giving much in the quest, in my opinion. But this one seems to be a little bit better in that regard. I don't know if things have been cut, or this is just maybe it was a bit better paced, but the story is pretty good, and that's why I'm like, yeah, I want to know more. They are quite marathons of quest modes because they're like 8 hours long or something. So they're basically like each of them is like its own game in its own right almost. Anyway, so that happened today. I played a bit more Pokemon TCG, and I played a bit more. I've opened 2 packs or something. I would say it's very strange. I was talking to my friend about it, and I think they responded to me, but I haven't actually read their response yet. I apologise. But it's very interesting because I can't battle anyone until I hit level 3 in that game. But the only thing I can do in the game at the moment, as far as I can tell, is open packs until I hit level 3. Which is weird because the packs are time gated, so it's sort of like I downloaded the game. Oh, cool, I'm going to play the game. Let's start interacting with it. I've done a tutorial. Nice. Okay, what else can I do? And the answer is nothing. You had to wait 12 hours and then open a new pack. And then I'll be like, okay. And then what? And then you had to wait another 12 hours to open another pack. And then after I do that a few more times, then I can actually play the game. Which is bizarre, I think, but I suppose it's to prevent people from like farming accounts or whatever than trading or something. I don't really know. Because it's a rare gacha game with trading system, apparently, in it. But it is a trading card game, so, you know, it does kind of make sense, doesn't it? It kind of feels like it had to be there eventually. So, what do I think of the game so far? I've got no idea, because I've not yet played it. But, I mean, I like the Pokemon card game when I was growing up playing it. And I have heard that the Pocket version has fixed some of the more strange decisions in it. And now I'm thinking about it, I don't actually know what rule set the official Pokemon trading card game uses now. Because one of the big things is, if you don't know, when you play Pokemon trading card game, at the beginning of a game you set aside 6 cards randomly, you don't know which they are, to be your prize cards, and every time you knock out an opponent's Pokemon you can collect one of your prize cards. The problem is this ruins a lot of decks which are like specifically like combo decks, because if your combo gets trapped within those prize cards, For one, you'll never collect the prize cards because you don't have your combo to take out any Pokemon, and so you basically just insta lose the game, and you have no sort of recourse over it, and you have no idea that you've lost. Essentially, is what made it so bad. But I believe in the Pocket version, they've changed it to that you basically just get a card draw when you knock out an opponent's Pokemon, which makes way more sense. I get the vibe that they were going for. I get that they were doing it to sort of reflect upon, oh, it's like, it's kind of like playing with Pokemon games, and you're just kind of like, knocking out opponents' Pokemon. It's like a party, you know, right? But that also was... Wait, how do I get rid of this? I thought... Oh, no. That's not the bin. Sorry, this is a bin. It feels pretty brutal to be like, oh, I've forgotten what this thing is, and then I just toss it away in the trash. But there you go. I guess I'll go to Harv's Island and actually put stuff away. But yeah. I didn't realise it was basically 2 free packs every single day for Trading Card Game Online. That seems pretty generous to me as far as things go, but I guess it's kind of a necessity because that is a PvP game, like, first and foremost, and that's kind of what you need to actually engage with and play with the game in the first place. So I suppose if anything, it's more of a inevitability. Is that the word I'd use? I'm not really sure. But yeah, what else can we talk about? Well, I haven't done like the packing for my holiday yet. Again, it's only a week, so, and I already was basically thinking about what things I need to bring. So things are sort of being like arranged, and probably later this evening I'll start like putting stuff away in the suitcase, or maybe after, I don't know. I might do that in between the breaks of recording some Happy in Paradise. It's a bit of a light limit. We have a 10 kilogram limit. I need to actually look up what the suitcase specifications are for our flight details, because I don't actually know them off the top of my head. But 10 kilograms is like not that much that you can sort of put stuff away in, hey? But yeah, I don't know. Packing for a holiday is always very interesting, I suppose, especially when you try to do it from a very efficient standpoint. I did have the option of going with 23 kilograms as like a check-in luggage, but I thought to myself, and I was like, 1 week is like right on the sort of cusp of where I'm like, I feel like 10 kilograms is not enough, maybe, but 23 kilograms might be way too much. So I was just like, I'm not really sure exactly where that sort of point lies, but I was like, I think I can make it work with 10 kilograms, to be honest. It's a week, and it's also cold weather, so it's sort of like I'm going to be wearing a lot, like going there in the first place. Things will have to get reused, probably a lot, like the thermal layers. I don't have, obviously, 7 different thermal layers. So presumably if there's a washing machine, I'll just wash them there. I don't know. And yeah, and I mean, I'm probably going to be wearing a coat for the majority of it. So it's a cold place we're going to. But yeah, it should be quite exciting. Should be a nice time. But what should we talk about? I know we already spent about 8 minutes talking about something, but I don't know what else to talk about. I guess we can talk about Pokemon TCG Pocket, and the sort of it does feel a bit strange to me, but it's like, oh yeah, you can't interact with anything unless you do a card pull, a pack pull or something. I know there are hourglasses to basically, that's how you do your pulls. It's a very interesting system where it's not you buy the packs, you buy hourglasses to reduce the time it takes for you to open the packs, which is a very interesting way to represent the currency, is what I'd say. What does 10 points mean? You can accumulate pack points by using a pack stamina to open booster packs. Ah, so this is a pity system, right? Yeah, so this is the Spark system, it seems. Wait, so what are the most expensive ones? How much do they cost? 500? 2,500, my word, for Celebi EX. Oh wait, these might be special versions, because I think these are full art versions. I'm not sure, I never knew much about the collecting part of it. Oh, premium pass, hold on. I don't actually know how you use a pack hourglass. Reduce time with Pokegold. Open 10 packs, open a pack. So I guess each hourglass is 1 hour or something? I don't know. But for me right now, seeing as I'm not actually going to be really playing this game all that much, I'm totally fine with waiting. I will say, it keeps giving me an exclamation mark for missions, which makes it rather annoying. I'm claiming things, I don't know, I sent thanks to someone. items acquired. I don't even know what this is. Bright room frame backdrop. But it seems like a very strange decision. You know how much I like talking about game design, but it seems like a very interesting game decision to be like, hey, you can play this game, you can download it, but you can't actually play the game. Am I the only one that thinks that's a little bit odd? Maybe? Just the faintest bit of peculiarity for a game design, because I mean, I got to assume they've got the stats and stuff behind it. They've got to know whether it's effective, whether it's not effective. But it feels so strange to be like, you can't immediately, like, not even like versus AI or something. Or maybe you can, I just don't know how to find it, but I can't open the battle tab. But it feels so strange, right? You can't just like, face a computer. Like, you've downloaded the game. But what if I'm like, I don't know how to play this game? Well, too bad you can't learn until you spend some time opening some packs. I'm like, I don't even know if I like this game at the moment yet, you know? Isn't that strange? Like, it's so bizarre. Like, it's such... I understand the purpose behind it is probably to gate things such that you don't have, I don't know, like a load of bots or coming in or doing who knows what. But from like a game design or like a consumer perspective standpoint, it feels so bizarre that it'd be like, oh yeah, this is a reasonable thing to do, you know? Let's gate off the actual game from people, from like, imagine you're coming with a new person experience rather than someone who is devoted to Pokemon or has played the game in the past. You're like, oh, what's this Pokemon TCG Pocket? Let's check it out. And you download the game and it's like, oh, I can't actually play the game. I guess they kind of want you to spend the currency to level up or whatever. But if you don't even know like much about the game in the first place, I don't think you're really incentivized to do so. You're just kind of like, why? It just, I don't know. I like to think there must be a reason behind it, you know. There's lots of people working collaboratively to create this entire thing, this entire process, right? So having the result just be, oh, you know, this was just like a bad decision on their behalf, it's possible. But it's also the sort of thing where I'm like, I have faith that they've, not faith necessarily, but I must imagine that they have game design decisions to be like, oh yeah, this is why, this is some motivation or reasoning behind the entire thing. Like, I don't know, they did some research, they tested some things, and they thought, yeah, this is a way to go. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah. What else can I really say about it? Nothing really, but it's... because I don't want to say it's anti-consumer design. I guess technically it is, because, you know, by the nature of most of these things wanting to make a profit, want to be business of some way, and, you know, it's kind of hard to not point at any design decision which goes slightly against the playstyle of a player or whatever, for the benefit of a player, is anti-consumer. But it does strike me as like, maybe it's not so clearly cut as like a monetization strategy in the first place, you know? Some things like gacha elements, obviously very anti-consumer, but it's also very easy to point out as like, this is very clear on how it makes money, right? The incentivization of like FOMO, right? Of like investing and being like, wow, in for a penny, in for a pound sort of thing. But I guess I'm having more trouble reasoning this one out from a game design perspective of why you would corner off the actual game itself to the player. Because I understand the perspective that because this is a trading card game or whatever, they don't want to have a load of people just making bots and then getting a load of cards and then just like trading them off to their main accounts or something. That is fair. But I would feel like if that were a problem, then shouldn't they lock the trading? They shouldn't lock the game behind this. They should lock the trading behind a level wall. Like, you don't unlock it until much, much later or something. Because then the average person's not going to go through the motions to level up account. Oh, I'm not going to level up account all the way to level 15 just to get trading in. That's not worth it for most people. Most people will probably be much more inclined to be like, well, whatever, I don't know, I'll purchase in-game currency or whatever, which is kind of what you want. But locking off the actual game itself, It's like, why would you do this? Even if you wanted to make sure that people didn't go into PvP immediately, why lock off like a versus AI match or something? It just, I don't know, like, it feels crazy to me to download a game and be like, I can't actually interact with a game. I guess because, let's reframe this. The game is not the actual battling of a Pokemon. The game is the opening of a packs, which people find so exhilarating. So I must assume that they did it this way because they knew that's what people would want to engage with in the first place. Because to be fair, a lot of the people I know, there's only one person I know who actually plays the game. Everyone else who I've heard who has the game has been downloading it just to open the packs. Which is really much more of a collective fun side of things rather than engaging with the mechanics things. I'm not saying that's necessarily a bad thing, but maybe that's more like of a self-awareness from Pokemon Company to be like, oh yeah, this is what people are here for. That's why that's the first thing you get access to. The game is more like a side project in the end. Which I'm not sure if that is the right perspective. But maybe it is the true one. I don't know. Anyway, I wouldn't be surprised in the future if they do open. But the game's not that old yet. I think it's been out for, what, a year maybe? Maybe not even that long? Let's see. Pokemon TCG Pocket release date. Yeah, about. Released on October 30th, 2024. Oh, it's actually been... Oh, it was revealed a year ago. But it's only been out for 6 months or so? It's interesting. Interesting indeed. Don't you think? But I will say, to give it credit, it does seem like a game where time investment is more so than money investment, right? It's a game where if you played from the beginning, presumably you can get all the cards just by opening the pack. Opening the packs twice daily. It's not that crazy. I mean, I'm an absolute master, I suppose, of doing daily check-ins with these sort of games. So maybe I'll amass a sort of collection, but then I'll be like, oh, maybe I don't actually feel like engaging with the game mechanics, and maybe that'll be it. I don't know. But it's interesting. Anyway, I guess I'll round this episode off here. I'm not really sure what I'm talking about. So if you have been watching, thank you very much. It's been Animal Crossing New Horizons, and I've been Dear Darling. Likes, comments, subscription, shares, greatly appreciated. Socials, Discord down below. Hope to see each other again. But for now, it's our farewell. So until next time, bye-bye for now.